If you think about it, every game that wins Best Game of the Year, the movie adaptation would never be considered for the Oscars. Friends and folks, welcome to the Kaiju Lounge. I'm your Boss Monster Noah Waterman, and Geoff Keighly graced the internet with his presence once again as he announced the upcoming games that are nominated for this year's Game Awards. Pretty exciting stuff. I think there are some things that we could expect, some things we probably didn't expect, but voting is now open. So I think I was going to go ahead and not just run through my votes, but also use it as a chance to do some ill-advised predictions for the Game Awards. The Game Award airs live and free on Thursday, December 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. The show airs across all major digital, social, and gaming platforms around the world. Gotta give it credit. It is kind of great to have something so... Udon, what are you doing? Udon. Buddy, that's my mic. Gonna keep going. Gotta give it credit to have something really that airs a level of prestige to the games industry, even though all award shows are really just marketing opportunities to sell dollars. But that's the skeptic in me. I think it's still pretty great to have it. I'm excited. I may even watch this year. Udon? Buddy, what's that in your mouth? Let's get voting. All right, starting with... Oh, we are kicking it off with Game of the Year. I thought they would ease me into this one. All right. Honestly, no big surprise. Oh, no, I will say, first off, Stray. There's an element of like the little cat that could in that. Horizon Forbidden West. I know people loved Horizon. I heard some people didn't like it as much as the first one. A Plague Tale Requiem. I'm not familiar with the original Plague Tale. This one kind of came out of left field, but I was seeing a lot of stuff about it. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was getting a lot of love, but I don't see it at the top here. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 does bring JRPGs back into a fold a little bit, being talked about in a way that like less of a niche game that I was hearing a lot of people talk about, though one would argue Persona 3 as well kind of did that, and I'm not sure it ever got any awards there. But I think you're really looking at a contest between Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok. And as great as I can only assume God of War Ragnarok is, despite the fact that it came out less than a week ago, so it kind of skews the voting against it, in my opinion. I think it's hard to argue against Elden Ring. I mean, that game has been touted from the top as Game of the Year. I think we are still thinking of it as the best game of the year, if not the last couple. It may not sweep every category it's in, but I don't see it losing Game of the Year. So I'm going with Elden Ring. I have to sign in to vote. Next up, Best Game Direction. This will be tough. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovative in game direction and design. Oh, Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok probably worked and built upon the foundation of what was made before it, but it's hard to call that innovative when it was already done in a previous game. These are both sequels. Immortality, I'm not actually familiar with, so I can't speak to that. That puts me in my head between Stray and Elden Ring. My personal vote would actually be for Stray, for being innovative and doing something different. But the truth is, none of these games speak out to me as like the most innovative. That usually goes on an indie game in my head. So I would want to see Elden Ring in that. Actually, no. I think that's tough. I think Elden Ring does take that as well. But I am actually going to put my vote in for God of War Ragnarok, and here's why. I do genuinely think the one-take camera and all the tricks that are worked in. And I haven't played Ragnarok yet, but I know it does a similar thing. And I'm kind of giving credit to the previous game, but the one camera take, right? The idea that there's no cut and you're constantly playing through, and how it really reinvented and built upon the original God of War. Yeah, I'm putting my vote in that, though, to be perfectly honest. I've not played Ragnarok yet. It literally just came out. The fact that it's even in these, it seems a little over the top. But that's what my gut's telling me. And sometimes you gotta go with your gut. Best narrative. All right, yeah. I am going to do God of War on this one. Horizon Forbidden West. I actually didn't play Horizon Forbidden West either. Loved the first one. So I can't speak to that. Again, Immortality, I'm actually not familiar with it. I'm gonna have to look this one up. Plague Tale seems interesting, seems very dark. I love Elden Ring so much. Those who listen to the most recent episode of the podcast, as of this recording, will hear me expound how much I love Elden Ring to the point where it was driving me insane and I needed a break from Elden Ring. But when it comes to narrative, you can't follow Elden Ring's narrative. I love how it gives its narrative, but I can't tell you what that narrative is. So I gotta go with Kratos here, a good old God of War. Next up, 4 out of 31, Best Art Direction. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Horizon Forbidden West will probably win something here, but nothing has screamed that way to me yet. God of War Ragnarok, the God of War series, I do love them, but I mean, I love the scale, I love the way things look, but I don't know, it never shot above my expectations of what I expected to see. That might be unfair to hold against it, but that's kind of how I feel. Scorn is just biting off H.R. Geiger. Like, that's cool and all, but I don't know, is just really being heavily inspired by someone else's work. I guess that's all video games. I don't know, I can't hold that against it, but it might just not be for me. That's fine. I gotta go either Elden Ring or Stray, and I'm actually gonna go turn the page a little bit and say Stray. Stray was visually more interesting as an overall game. A lot of great looks and effects and set pieces in Elden Ring. But we're talking about animation, artistic design. Elden Ring is a very unique dark fantasy, but it's still a dark fantasy I expect to see. Stray felt like something else, and the animation of the cat and the movement. And I'm going with Stray. I'm going with Stray because it's my vote. And if you disagree with me, vote yourself. Plague Tale, have not played, don't know the music. Elden Ring, outside the main theme, I can't think of what else. God of War Ragnarok, I have not played yet, so I can't speak to the music, though Bear McCreary is pretty awesome. Metal Hellsinger, I have not played. I've heard the music. I'm not a heavy metal guy, but I will say that shit slaps. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I can only assume JRPG music is always awesome. I have no standing here, but I'm gonna go with my gut and I'm going to say Xenoblade. And watch me be wrong. That's fine. I'm allowed to be wrong. I didn't say these were good predictions, I said they're predictions. Best audio design. All right. I'm sure there's intricacies here I can't even begin to think about, but like the sound of guns and the sound of cars. All right, you recorded guns, you recorded cars. That's great. Call me when you create the noise of the world serpent, right? That's kind of my gut here, but I'm actually thinking, you know what? Let's go with the gut again. Horizon Forbidden West, because you have to come up with the sound design for robot dinosaurs. Where do the dinosaurs begin and the robots end? I said Horizon was going to win some. Let me back that up with a guess. Best performance. All right. See, here's the problem. I haven't played 2 of them. I haven't played 3 of them, and then God of War Ragnarok comes in, and like, again, have any of us gotten a chance to finish the game yet? They're all great. Christopher Judge's great. Sunny's great. But I also have a talent crush on Ashley Birch. I think she deserves all the flowers and then some. I believe she won. I'm not going to correct myself, so I'm just going to say it. I believe she won when she played Aloy the first time around. But let's go Ashley Birch. Fucking rocket. So talented. I hope she. I'm going. I don't even know if she's going to win. I just hope she wins. That's where I'm going at. Games for Impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Always tough. As Dusk Falls is the one I'm most familiar with, and even that I haven't played. God, I've been behind. I need to jump on some games. If there's a game I mentioned that I say I haven't played yet, and you come in and you're watching this, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Tell me. Tell me what games I should be playing. I would happily jump on it. But I've heard a lot of great things about Citizen Sleeper, so I'm going to give Citizen Sleeper my vote. Best ongoing. Yes, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. Well, in a normal world, I think I would have said Final Fantasy 14. I know with the Endwalker expansion was a huge get. I've heard this game has turned itself around. This was to say this was the year for Fortnite is a bit of an understatement. Like every year is the year for Fortnite, but I feel like this really was a year for Fortnite with a lot of the special stuff they did, especially within the Dragon Ball Z pack. People who I did not peg as Fortnite people have turned around and gone whole hog on this thing. It has really changed people's minds this year from being a Gen Z multiplayer game to something really for everyone. So I'm actually going to give Fortnite my vote here. Best indie. Ooh, that's tough. I feel like reviews for Stray were good enough, but Stray has made it into the Game of the Year category. So I think Stray has this in the bag. That said, I'm actually going to throw my vote on Cult of the Lamb. I felt like Sifu came and went. I feel like Neon White came and went. We've already stopped talking about both those. From what I've understood, Tunic was a great idea that was fine and okay, but maybe not fully succeeded everything I wanted to do. But Cult of the Lamb, like, what a game. What a heck of a game. That one sucked people in. That's a game I feel like was in the zeitgeist the longest. If I'm going off of votes, if I'm going off of both fan vote and just general reviews, I think Cult of the Lamb has it. So I'm going to give Cult of the Lamb my vote. Best mobile game. All right. First off, Diablo Immortal. If there's anything that could tell you that these things are advertising and kind of paid off, the fact that Diablo Immortal is even in the conversation, this shit was torn to shreds. I believe it was panned upon release. We're supposed to believe now that it's a contention for best mobile game of the year? No, screw that. Apex Legends Mobile, I'm sure it's just Apex Legends, fine. Genshin Impact, I'm still trying to figure out what a Genshin Impact is. This is a game that has come and gone with me. I will be talking to some Genshin Impact voice actors soon. I'll have plenty of questions. But I mean, maybe it's not made for me. The one thing I'll say here is Marvel Snap. Since its released, I've heard nothing, and not just from the gaming community, from literally anyone who's willing to talk to me, say that they love this game, and the fact that there's so little pressure, if any, to buy anything, I think works in its favor. I think this is one I could very easily see making its way into best mobile game, so I'm giving Marvel Snap my vote. Best community support. Ooh. Destiny 2. Game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, including social media activity and game updates / patches. Oh. Right, so Fortnite's the most visible here, but I would say that Fortnite's not really doing a lot of direct interaction. I mean, this thing's just too big. It's basically the metaverse at this point anyway. Destiny 2, good, people are still playing that. I didn't know. No Man's Sky, they're releasing updates and patches. I think this should have won Best Community Support maybe a year or two ago. I think now it's just continuing the goodwill of turning around and becoming an awesome game. Though I'm, you know what? Give it to Final Fantasy 14. I don't know why. I just am. I'm chaos. This is madness. Madness, I tell you. Innovation in accessibility. There's software and hardware that's pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by even a wider audience. Ooh. That's tough, because I'm actually not too familiar with all the things they've offered, but what I will say is when I think about accessibility, how easy it is for someone to just jump in and play something. I look at As Dusk Falls in the Quarry, that really tread the line between game and movie, as filling that gap of what it means for literally can anyone pick up and play? Can anyone partake? And I believe I'm familiar more with the accessibility features that the Quarry have added over As Dusk Falls, so I'm giving the Quarry my vote, even though I don't do horror whatsoever. Best VR AR. I think, well, there's some great stuff here. My guess is it's a no contest. Bone Lab, if you haven't checked it out, I got to check out a little bit of it over this past weekend when visiting a friend of mine. And, you know, while during play, I got dizzy pretty fast because, I was spinning on a playground before then. That's part of it. But, like, what a weird, unique, and fun game. It really feels so sandboxy. I got to give it to that. It feels like they're doing something different, and then I only hit the tip of the iceberg on that as far as what a VR first-person shooter could be. Best action game. Ooh. I'm never going to give my vote to Call of Duty, even though I think it's got a good chance of winning everything. Neon White was such a unique game that I would be tempted to give my vote there. Bayonetta 3, I actually didn't get to play Bayonetta 3, so I don't know. God, I want to give it to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and I do think in general it is the better game. However, Sifu is such a unique idea, such a cool idea, and the way the fights play out feels so nice. I'm giving it to Sifu. Best action adventure. I'm gonna give it to God of War. If God of War Ragnarok is even a toenail clipping as good as the last God of War, it deserves to be up there. And I'll be honest, I think it's supposed to be better. I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but I am giving it to God of War. Best role-playing game. Oh, you came to... I'm shocked to see some of these on here. I'm shocked to see Pokemon on here. And I'm shocked to see Triangle Strategy on here. Not to say both are good, I just didn't think they'd be like game of yada yada good. Yeah, if Elden Ring has taken it for Game of the Year, then it's kind of gotta win this one. Live a Live, fantastic. I really hope Square keeps pushing some of these things out, but yeah, it's got to be Elden Ring for me, dog. Best fighting. DNF Duel I want to check out. That seemed interesting. See what JoJo's. Sifu is funny. I would think of it more action adventure because fighting game I think versus. God, I'm going to hate myself for this one. I think I got to say Multiverses. This is another one that really opened itself up to the world on a larger scale. And I think it's got it because honestly, if I hadn't been following games, I want to know what a DNF Duel is. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I know the anime has gotten a lot of love, but I haven't heard much from the video game. King of Fighters, I thought that was last year, to be honest. But like, I love the King of Fighters series. Again, I'm not hearing much about that community. Multiverses it is. I feel like Multiverses really blew up. Best family game. Ooh. Oh, what a selection. What a selection. I'm going with Kirby. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope's good, but I feel like, I don't know, I would have seen that rather a strategy game, maybe not for family. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I heard mixed things about that. I think Splatoon 3 will probably win it, but I'm putting my vote on Kirby. Best sim strategy. All right, see now Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope is in there. That makes sense. Dune, Spice Wars is in there. Total War Warhammer 3, Victoria 3, 2 Point Campus. Victoria 3, I feel like I saw that pop up in a Steam sale thing, but didn't know what that was otherwise. Maybe it's the miniatures fan in me, but I think Total War Warhammer 3 did the most unique things with its strategy gameplay, and like really changing up the armies. The Total War series is already pretty cool, but like how they make everyone feel different, interact different with so many different factions. Yeah, that I think has got it. Best sports racing game. You know what? Fuck realistic games. It won't win, but Ollie Ollie World is what I'm choosing. Because, again, I don't want simulation, I want fun. And while some of these, like Gran Turismo is probably a lot of fun, Ollie Ollie World's the most guaranteed to be fun in this group. Ooh, I was just talking about how great Multiverses was. Overwatch 2, I got Splatoon. That's a tough one, but I'm gonna be pissed if TMNT doesn't win something. And as a multiplayer game, as gameplay in general, like honestly, we actually talk about that in the upcoming episode of the best game of all time. Check it out. But there's very little this game does wrong. Giving it to you, TMNT. Content Creator of the Year. I know 2 of these 5 because I'm old and will never be up to this even at my most popular, because you're not going to see somebody over the age of 35 in this group. That being said, let a woman win it. More women in the gaming space. The fact that we only have 1 woman and it's all white people here. Let's change some of that, all right? Best debut indie. Oh, I think this is no contest. Vampire Survivors. If you've played this game, then you're probably currently playing this game while you're watching this video. You just can't stop. It's so much fun for such a goofy, simple idea. Yeah, I think it's got to be Vampire Survivors. Best adaptation. I know a lot of people love Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I didn't get to see, but I really wanted to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 actually, Sonic the Hedgehog in general, surprisingly accurate despite taking liberties to the source material, which I got to give that credit for. The Cuphead show's great, but doesn't really know what its audience is. Uncharted came and went, but Arcane, like, irregardless of Game Awards, Arcane should be winning something. Arcane was just such a beautiful, beautiful show. And if it was only beautiful Dayenu, it would be enough. But no, the story is fantastic. The way it weaves everything together. I don't know. Yeah. Most anticipated game. Resident Evil 4. I'm not going to be anticipated for a game that I've played before. Starfield. Exciting, but it seems like one of these games is going to be too big, and I think people forget about Starfield until Starfield is brought up again. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm seeing everywhere. I don't know, maybe. It would be Final Fantasy 16 if I wasn't just staring straight in the eye The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Like, how long are we waiting on that? That's been the most anticipated game for 3 years running. Like, no, this, again, no contest. It's a squash match. Next. Best esports game. Ooh, you know what's crazy to me? Everything on best esports game was not released in 2022. Esports. We need variety. Not only do we need variety, but I think at a certain point, there's too many disparate esports games. Like, but like, I don't know, people. I'm shocked people are still playing Rocket League. But I gotta give it to League of Legends. That shit is global on a scale that nobody else is. Best esports athlete. Okay. Simple, because I like his name. I don't know. This is not my best esports team. Dark Zero. FaZe Clan, I'm sure there's a lot of nice people on a FaZe Clan, but they all come off, every time I see a content creator from FaZe, they all seem all douchey as hell. Gen G, LA Thieves, Loud, I don't know, Loud. I like the name, that sounds fun. Best esports coach, we're coming at the end here, all right. You know what? Going with Score, because the man's wearing a suit. Like, look at this classy motherfucker. Crisp white shirt, suit and tie. You're gonna be a coach. You come in, dress the nines. I appreciate you. Even in esports, there's no reason we should be wearing dumb game jerseys with jagged edges and seeming cool and hip. Like, no. Where are the Ditkas of the esports world? So I'm going with Score there. Last but certainly not least, I kind of wish these went in reverse order. I would have rather ended on Game of the Year. But it's best esports event. Recognizing an event across single or multiple days that delivered a best of class experience for participants in the broadcast audience. I'll be honest, there's a lot of good stuff here, right? Valorant Champions is a ton of fun. The 2022 Mid-Season Invitational, I'm not sure what that's for. PGL Major Antwerp, okay. League of Legends. I'm not a big League of Legends player, but it is a hoot and a half to watch pro League of Legends players play. But that pales in comparison to the raw spectacle that is EVO. EVO is so much fun to be at. It is so much fun to watch. Fighting game esports is where it's at, and I don't think it gets enough love. God bless the fighting game community for having such an amazing, rockin' good time. Some of the best characters in and out of the stage. My vote on EVO. That is it. That is all 31 categories locked in. That started off going to be my predictions and just ended up being my votes. But in my defense, I think I'm right. So my votes are my predictions. How do you guys feel? You think I'm wrong? There's a good chance you might know I'm wrong because maybe you have a little more context than I do for some of these games. If so, please pick a fight with me in the comments below. Let me know how you feel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and drop a Zelda to this exact voting here so you can go in and try to counter my votes. Let's start the conversation. Who's winning the 2022 Video Game Awards? Let me know. In the meantime, be sure to follow me on all my various socials. Be sure to check out the podcast, The Best Game of All Time. I've alluded to it twice, but we release a video and a podcast audio experience on the first Monday of every month. Check it out. Until next time, until I hop back on here, stay cool, stay hip, stay heavy.